It's happening again. Another wave of tech layoffs in 2025. As of June, thousands more at the biggest names in tech are out of a job. These aren't just numbers. These are real people. And the impact ripples across the industry. No role seems safe, from engineers to marketers. This constant churn creates uncertainty for everyone in tech. Layoffs signal major shifts in company priorities and strategies. They're a barometer for the industry's health and a preview of what tech will shape our future. The big question, who's next? By connecting the dots, we can start to see the patterns. In this video, we'll break down the latest cuts at Google, Amazon, Meta, and more, and what they mean for the industry. Let's dive in. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. Let's start with Google. Well, Alphabet. They're in the middle of a major restructuring, and it's not just about efficiency. The cuts are focused on Google Cloud and AI divisions. Why cut in AI? Because the race is so expensive, Google is consolidating, merging teams and axing projects that don't directly support their flagship models like Gemini. Years of letting 1,000 flowers bloom is over. Now it's all about eliminating redundancies and focusing on what matters most. In cloud, layoffs are hitting sales and support, hinting at a shift to bigger, more profitable clients. The human cost is real, morale is low, and the sense of safety at Google is fading. The company is becoming leaner, less experimental, and more obsessed with winning in AI and cloud. The era of endless moonshots is over. Now it's about strategic bets and ruthless execution. The big question, can this new corporate Google keep its innovative spark? Internally, every division not tied to AI or cloud profitability is on edge. The realignment isn't done. Expect more changes from Mountain View, Google's future. Focused, competitive, and less forgiving of side projects. The who's next question is now about which internal teams survive. For Google, the stakes have never been higher. The company's culture is changing fast. The next wave of cuts could come from anywhere. The grand realignment is just beginning. Now Amazon, masters of efficiency, but that comes at a cost. After pandemic hiring sprees, they're still trimming, especially in logistics and Alexa. Logistics cuts are about automation. Robots replacing humans as e-commerce growth slows. Fewer jobs in warehouses and delivery, more machines doing the work. Alexa's team is shrinking too. Despite millions of devices sold, the division loses billions and struggles to monetize. With generative AI rising, Alexa's old model looks outdated. Amazon is pivoting, cutting legacy features to focus on making Alexa a true AI assistant. The future of Amazon hardware is uncertain. The focus is shifting to core services like Prime and AWS. Layoffs show Amazon doubling down on what works and cutting what doesn't. CEO Andy Jassy is all about profitability now, not risky experiments. The day one era is fading. Amazon is more mature, but less adventurous. The company's bets are getting safer, and the cuts are far from over. Efficiency rules everything at Amazon now. Meta's Metaverse gamble has turned into a costly hangover. Reality Labs, the division behind VR, has lost over $40 billion and is now facing deep cuts. The dream of 1 billion people in the Metaverse is shrinking to a more modest, profitable VR/AR platform. Layoffs are hitting experimental hardware and long-term research, narrowing the focus to the Quest line. This instability makes developers wary of investing in Meta's ecosystem. Meanwhile, Meta is also pouring resources into AI, especially open-source models like Llama. The company is being pulled in two expensive directions, Metaverse and AI. Layoffs free up capital for AI, but risk strangling the Metaverse vision. If forced to choose, Meta may sacrifice the Metaverse for AI-driven social media. The who's next question targets any Reality Labs team not tied to the next Quest headset. Meta's grand vision is being whittled down by financial reality. The company's identity crisis is real, Metaverse or AI. For now, survival means focusing on what pays the bills. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. Microsoft's been on a roll, but even they're cutting jobs, especially in gaming and Azure. The biggest cuts hit teams from the Activision Blizzard acquisition, streamlining overlapping roles. Some development teams are affected too, raising questions about the future of key franchises. Microsoft's strategy: content and services, with Game Pass at the center. Layoffs risk disrupting the flow of exclusive games, but efficiency is the goal. Integrating Activision is about running lean and maximizing content for Game Pass. In Azure, cuts are about shifting resources to AI, not a slowdown. Microsoft wants every enterprise to build AI on Azure, so legacy roles are out, AI specialists are in. Even in growth areas, jobs aren't safe unless they support AI dominance. These layoffs are about aggressive repositioning, not weakness. The who's next question is about alignment. If you're not supporting AI or Game Pass, you're at risk. Microsoft is sharpening its focus, and the competition is fierce. The company is betting big on AI and gaming content. Every team is under review for strategic fit. The long game is all that matters now. Apple has long seemed immune to tech's turmoil, but 2025 brings new pressures. No mass layoffs yet, but speculation is rising, especially in hardware engineering and services. The smartphone market is mature, iPhone growth is slowing, and Project Titan, the self-driving car, was cancelled. Vision Pro is impressive but niche, not the next iPhone. With the car project gone, many engineers are being reassigned, mostly to AI, but not all can be absorbed. Apple may consolidate teams and cut less promising projects, a big cultural shift. Financial realities may force Apple to trim even its prized engineering teams. Services, Apple Music, iCloud, TV Plus, face regulatory pressure, especially in Europe. If growth slows, Apple could cut marketing or content teams in underperforming services. The focus will be on protecting profit margins and core teams. Apple's stability is being tested from inside and out. The who's next question is subtle. Strategic trims and reassignments, not mass cuts. The end of the car project and regulatory challenges are the main catalysts. Even Apple's walled garden is feeling the pressure. Let's shift to enterprise. Salesforce, once the king of SaaS, is feeling the squeeze. Economic headwinds mean businesses are cutting back on software spending. Salesforce's sales and marketing teams are shrinking as closing deals gets harder and customer acquisition costs rise. The company is focusing top salespeople on big accounts and relying more on digital channels for smaller clients. Activist investors are demanding higher margins and returns on big acquisitions like Slack and Tableau. Layoffs are a direct response, showing Wall Street a new focus on profitability. The SaaS market is maturing. Smaller players will struggle or get acquired. AI is now Salesforce's big bet, with Einstein features rolling out across products. Layoffs free up resources for AI development, aiming to make products stickier and prove ROI. The who's next question extends to all SaaS companies lacking clear value and profitability. The era of growth at all costs is over. Now, it's about defending and monetizing what you have. The SaaS landscape is consolidating fast. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. Tesla, part tech company, part automaker, is in turmoil after layoffs hit software and Autopilot teams. The cuts are puzzling. FSD is Tesla's future, yet key engineers are out. Reports say it's a Musk-driven push to cut headcount and increase pressure on those who remain. This high-risk style could slow innovation, not just at Tesla but across the EV industry. Layoffs also hit new vehicle development and the supercharger team, despite recent expansion plans. The sudden reversals create chaos for partners and customers. Tesla faces fierce competition from Chinese EV makers and legacy automakers. First mover advantage is gone. Flawless execution is now essential. The who's next question is unpredictable. Decisions follow Musk's vision, not a clear strategy. The Autopilot cuts are a gamble. Can a leaner team solve one of tech's hardest problems? The industry is watching closely. Tesla's future is more uncertain than ever. The era of unchecked growth in tech is over. Efficiency and focus now rule. Layoffs are reshaping the industry and the lives of thousands. Realignment is ongoing, driven by economic, investor, and tech pressures. Every company is making big bets on the future, but not all will pay off. The choices made today will decide tomorrow's winners and losers. Which company is most at risk? Who's making the smartest moves? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe Cosmo Academia for more updates on tech's next moves. Thanks for watching.